So we have a lot we have to cover here today in the Transformer world. We got a bunch of listings for 2025 in relation to capsules, sublines, and exclusives in our Transformer world. And of course, we have some upcoming pre-orders on the Takara side of things with the missing link. So we're going to talk about it all here today on the Transformer Slag podcast and make sense of all of it. So these are confirmed by JT Prime 17. This explains why I delayed talking about these over the past couple of days. I like to make sure from the source that all of this is, pretty much right. And so we're going to start with Target exclusives. We have a whole bunch to go through. So we have a Tra-Gen Studio Series Bullseye Leader. We don't have any information on what that could be, but there is going to be something with that. The Bullseye is related to the Target branding. We have a Tra-Gen Studio Series Bullseye 2-pack Gamer Edition Devastation, Voyager, Elite Seeker Gray, and Deluxe Ground Soldier Blue. So a lot to unpack here. This suggests that we're going to be getting some Target exclusive Studio Series Gamer Edition stuff that talks about the amazing Transformers Devastation video game that we got a couple years ago. And these are pretty much taking two molds and making the generic Seekers that we had in the video game. So the Elite Seeker Gray is probably going to be the Conehead Earthrise mold. More specifically, probably the Dirge one. Or maybe even, they're going to probably use the Dirge one. And paint it gray. And do that gray color scheme of that. And then the Deluxe Ground Soldier Blue, the obvious answer is, well, it's going to be the Earthrise Battle Chargers mold done in blue, because that's what they looked like. But when you look at the alt mode, I mean, there's a weird history with that Ground Soldier. It was actually kind of based off of the Battle Chargers that were based off of a Wheeljack mold, so it got a little complicated with that. I mean, I could see them using our modern Earthrise Wheeljack mold and making that the Ground Trooper, but also the easy answer would be to use the Battle Charger one because they haven't used that mold that much. I mean, take your pick. It could go either or. I'm leaning more towards the Earthrise Battle Chargers, but the Wheeljack one wouldn't surprise me either if they put a new head sculpt on it and new tooling just to match the alt mode. That's just my take. We also have a Tra-Gen Studio Series Bullseye Voyager class 86 Perceptor with 86 Ramhorn and 86 Ratbat. This is pretty much marketed as a Voyager price point item with 1 deluxe and 2, I guess we'll call them core class items. This is to mimic the 86 movie scene, Run Blaster, Save Yourself. And it's probably going to be a Studio Series Perceptor that we got before, given that more cell-shaded animation colors. Think like, Studio Series Cup to the buzzworthy Bumblebee Target exclusive Cup. And we're going to get Ramhorn and Ratbat. So more cassettes to join your collection. And probably we're going to see these molds again at some other point. This probably won't be the only way we'll get it. But we will see. We will see. A Tra-Gen Prime Bullseye Voyager. No mention of a character. The Prime part really has to do with the fact that our next Generations line in 2025 is Generations Prime. So it's going to be probably something pulling from the molds related to that with the original 13 or some of the other stuff we talked about. Go check out that segment where we talk Generations Prime in the future for 2025. And then we got a Tra-Gen Prime Bullseye multi-pack. Same story. Something from Generations Prime, some kind of multi-pack. We will see. Let's get into Walmart now. So Walmart for 2025 is going to be doing a subline capsule that is going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of Galaxy Force, aka Transformer Cybertron, for 2025. Imagine it's already been 20 years. Woo! And so what we got here is a Tra-Gen Prime Capsule Deluxe Cybertron Sideways, aka Noise Maze, as he was called in Galaxy Force. So that's really cool to see that. Is it going to be a brand new tooling from something? Is it going to be, something that's like more of a shallow kind of repaint that we're not seeing here? But we will see. This one's a little more obvious. The Tra-Gen Prime Capsule Deluxe Cybertron Excellion. Red repaint, hot rod repaint of the Hot Shot we just talked about literally just yesterday and the day before. So definitely that one's a no-brainer. Tra-Gen Prime Capsule Voyager class Skywarp. Now, this is an interesting one because in theory, the original Cybertron Skywarp was a completely different mold that was shared with the Deluxe Thundercracker during Cybertron. And I mean, if you want to go on a technicality, yeah, we had an SDCC repaint of the Legends, the Tiny Legends Starscream into Skywarp. But the Deluxe was more the mass retail version and the more well-known. But because this is a Voyager, it's pretty clear they're going to take our Cybertron Voyager Starscream that we just got in United, and they're going to give it the Skywarp color scheme. It's pretty obvious, but it's kind of a shame that we're not getting that little Thundercracker Skywarp mold. Maybe we'll get that in the future because that was a wacky character in Galaxy Force and Cybertron. We got a Tra-Gen Prime Capsule Leader, unknown character, we don't know, but that's it pretty much for those. Then we have a Walmart exclusive line called Retro Inspired. It's just Retro Inspired 1, 2, 3, and 4. No information on this yet. Probably, like the reissues we got before, the G1 reissues with the better color schemes. Maybe there'll be other lines with updated color schemes. Maybe they'll take, I don't know, Armada toys and give them updated color schemes or something. Who knows, but it's retro inspired, so stay tuned for that with Walmart. With Amazon, we have a lean on the Mayhem versus Wreckers, and we got a few of these. We got a Tra-Gen Smile. Smile is the code name for all of this. Deluxe Spinister and Twin Twist, so you got that one in a 2-pack, and the other one here is the Smile Deluxe Iron Fist and Carnivac. The Iron Fist is said here to be a Hound partial, so they're probably going to take that Earth Hound that we just recently had and partial that into Iron Fist, the UK exclusive character. And the Weird Wolf is probably the Titans Return Weird Wolf partial that we're going to get for the Carnivac. So very cool with those two. We got some Pulse exclusives. So we have some SDCC stuff. They mentioned, of course, the Dino King and some kind of SDCC 2-pack, but there is others here too. We have a Tra-Gen SDCC DTC, meaning direct to consumer or online, Skybound Comics, Jetfire, Darak, and Solila. So this is obviously no doubt due to the success and the sellout of Void Rivals #1, which no doubt greenlit this box set. The Jetfire, well, is it the Cybertronian one that we saw in the comic? Is it going to be a brand new tooling? Is it just a repaint of the Commander class we've already gotten just to fill it out? Commander class with two G.I. Joe O-ring style kind of figures of our two Void Rivals, main characters of Darak and Solila. I don't know. I do not know. So we will see. But pretty interesting. And again, Void Rivals is a really good book. So that probably will be one of the few ways you could get these characters. And then we got a Tra-Gen P-Con, a.k.a. PulseCon, Heart of Steel set. This is interesting because here's something from Skybound we were talking before, and now this is early IDW stuff from many, many, many years ago. So the Heart of Steel, what if story of what if Transformers, woke up during the John Henry Steam era. And we have here a Bumblebee and Optimus 2-pack, supposedly. Bumblebee and Optimus both turned into trains, so that's really interesting that we're going to be getting some train Transformers, which would be really nice. I'd really like to see a Heart of Steel Megatron, though. That'd be really cool. You want a gun Megatron? That's probably about as close as you're going to get, although he will maybe also turn into a cannon, so who knows. But still pretty awesome to see that. That's really cool. Up to that point, we only had like third-party guys doing that back in the day. And then we got a bunch of collab items. So we have the Tra Collab Blue, which is code name for a Sonic the Hedgehog 2-pack collab, which is interesting because we had a collab Tails listing. So I don't know if that's something separate or is this 2-pack for Sonic Blue, Sonic, and Tails. I don't know, but hey, we're getting a Sonic the Hedgehog collab finally. And then we have a whole bunch here. We have Collab Black, Collab Sword, Collab HW1 to 4. The HW1 to 4 is clearly Hot Wheels, but the coding on them is very different from the Hot Wheels skate items we talked about, and also the coding for the proper Hot Wheels collab items that we talked about of the diecast. So what are these exactly? I don't know. Transformable items with Hot Wheels decos on it? We will see. And then we got a collab FTW for the win. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's Fortnite. Who knows? And then the last thing we have is some Takara items. We have a Trajan Legacy EX Voyager Armada Super Starscream. Thundercracker was sold here in America as Thundercracker, even though that was Starscream's colors in the Armada show. When it was sold in Japan, it was sold as Super Starscream for the Micron Detsetsu Legend line in Japan for Armada. So this is pretty much the Thundercracker repaint of our Voyager class Legacy Armada Starscream. And then we have a Trajan Studio Series EX Voyager TF7 Nemesis Prime. We know what this is. We got a Optimus mold. TF7 is probably going to be that Target exclusive Studio Series 102 Bumblebee Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, done in a black repaint, Scourge, Nemesis Prime, whatever you want to call it, Black Convoy. So we're probably going to get a black repaint of that, like we've had many times before with every other Optimus mold. And the last thing we're going to be covering outside of this 2025 exclusive stuff is we have 2 Missing Link updates. We have a pre-order coming in a very short couple of weeks. We have Missing Link C03 and C04 Bumble and Cliff, aka Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. So we're going to be getting updates of those characters, taking those old G1 toys, giving them shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, and a legitimate peg hand with a sculpted gun that could be held for Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. Again, the original toys didn't have that kind of articulation and didn't come with weapons. So that's a nice touch there. Those are probably going to be pretty cheap too, I hope, because they're very tiny guys. And in the translation here, it says that they're licensed by their respective companies, Volkswagen and Porsche. And of course, more importantly, they will be going up for pre-order. Next time we talk about it probably will be on a Transformer Tuesday, maybe, because it says here May 8th, 2024, which is a Wednesday for Japan, but it'll be a Tuesday for us. So it'll probably be a Transformer Tuesday pre-order. So stay tuned for that. We'll get an update on that one and all the info, but pretty hype stuff. Let me know what you think about all of this. We got a lot. Man, our wallets are feeling it, isn't it? Our wallets are just feeling it. Wow. Let me know what you think about all of this, and we'll talk again really soon here on the Transformer Slag podcast. And as always, thank you for listening.